on the 29th of April, the Maharashtra cabinet chaired by Mr. Fadnavis approved the Maharashtra AI Policy 2026. And I wanted to start by talking a little bit about it. The headline commitments are an investment target of more than 10,000 crores and over 1.5 lakh jobs by 2031, 6 AI centers of excellence across health, education, agriculture, urban development, Marathi language and culture and finance, 5 AI innovation cities, a 500 crore AI startup fund, 12 AI incubators, AI skilling for 2 lakh young people and professionals, and a shared compute backbone of 2,000 GPUs delivered as a compute as a service to government departments. This level of thinking on AI, this level of detail and I would say commitment to AI, perhaps you would be number one across the country if there were to be a ranking of states. So this session matters and the nation wants to know, Mr. Fadnavis, why you're doing this with such great interest and speed.
No, thank you. I think that's the most important question because, we are into an era where AI is revolutionizing every single thing. And, when a wave comes, you cannot stop the wave. Technology wave, you have to ride on it. And now is a time when AI is going to reshape every aspect of our business, every aspect of our life. So we thought it is very important that if we have to retain our place in the economic scenario, in the business, in the industry, we have to do adoption of AI very fast. And that is why we started this policy. We started a new portfolio, a new department of AI, a commissionerate of AI. And there are two things. One is adoption of AI in governance, which we have already started. I would like to give you two examples, what we have already done. One is that we have started an engine whereby we are using AI in criminal justice system and, entire handling of our criminal system. So there is one institution which we have created. This institution has totally digitized the process of crime solution. We have done it with Microsoft. Now we'll be also doing it with some of our indigenous, technology providers. But what is the difference? From a crime scene to a charge sheet, the entire process is digitized. The entire process is in blockchain. So that will reduce the time to a large extent. And, in criminal justice system, there are so many miscarriages. There will be no miscarriage once this entire system is under a blockchain. And, AI is revolutionizing it so fast that now we are also using a model where, when we interrogate somebody, all the interrogation is captured and it's put in the perspective whereby, how a criminal justice system requires somebody, being interrogated. Everything is covered by that. Now here is, let's say crime solving. The second example is what we created is Mahavistar. Now this Mahavistar is a AI engine created for farmers. Mahavistar app, now it is downloaded by 50 lakh farmers in India, in Maharashtra. And it is one-stop solution for everything in agriculture. It gives a, agentic AI perspective whereby every single farmer gets his own agentic friend, his own agent, whereby he can ask any question, anything. Any question, he gets a reply on that. He can speak in any language. Now we have also integrated a tribal language, Bhili, So a tribal belonging to, a tribal community who speaks Bhili language can ask him. And this is to the extent that they'll get the weather data, they'll get the, if the crop cycle is analyzed, everything they will get. So I'll tell you just one thing, that if in a cropping cycle, if they just take a photograph by a smartphone, that photograph will analyze the entire crop and it will tell them at what cycle the crop is. If there is apprehension of pests, if it is so, then what pesticide should they use? If it requires micronutrient, then what type of micronutrient they should use? And this any common farmer can do.
Okay.
So I think that we have already started using this. And so far as creating the computing power is concerned, as you know that you have mentioned about 2000 GPU.
Yes.
There was a time when
Yes.
we used to, when we were very young, we used to talk about CPU, but CPU is no more now computing power. It is GPU. What we are trying to create is to create a common facility, a common computing facility. I'm telling in very simple words, because today, when you talk about startups, all startups require huge computing facility, and this computing facility is, is very expensive.
Ji.
If they buy it from somebody, if they partner it with somebody. So what we are essentially creating is that this entire capacity will be created on a shared model, which can be used by any startup, which can be used by any business. So that will put us ahead of everybody. Because ultimately, when you have this computing facility,
Wonderful.
then I think that will change every sphere of business. So this particular policy which I'm talking about is a policy which is going to put Maharashtra ahead of every state.